gentlemen, and all the viewers of the His Excellency Amid Sports channel or Sports TV. Ladies and gentlemen, that is my followers in the entire world. This time I'm coming back, that is with the UEFA Champions League games, and this will be the biggest headline, that is Arsenal up against Real Madrid, as well as that is Bayern Munich up against Inter Milan. These are the games that will be played today. That's around 20 GMT, that is UK time, and in Uganda it will be around 10 p.m. These games are very intense, reason being that we have approached that is the last eight of that is the quarterfinals of the UEFA Champions League, where Arsenal will be hosting that is Real Madrid, the most successful team that is in the UEFA Champions League history, having won around 15 titles, and Arsenal has never won that is any championship, but it is fighting so hard so that it wins this one. Back to history, around the 2005-2006 season, Arsenal managed to eject Real Madrid, and it was the go through until they reached that is the final, where they were beaten by Spanish giants, that is Barcelona, 2-1, where we saw the likes of Beretti and the likes of Samuel Eto'o coming on the score sheet. You never know, history could be repeating itself upon this game, as Mikel Arteta's boys are aiming higher so that they can win that is NS Riverware, to take out the jinx that has lasted for many years, ever since Arsenal's formation way back, that is in the 1800s. The club has lasted for over 130 years, but on the European continent it hasn't been all that successful. Arsenal earlier on were gifted by the return of that is the star boy Bukayo Saka, who came back after a lengthy period of 101 days in his absence, where the team was struggling. On his return, he returned with a banger, scoring up against Fulham. However, the previous game that they played ended up that was in a 0-0 when they were playing that is Everton Football Club. So the game ended that is 1-1 when Arsenal had opened up the scoring. However, at the restart of second half, that is Everton managed to get a penalty in this game. Mikel Arteta said that is so much focus that is on these games, that is the UEFA Champions League. Reason being, him as a player, he never won this championship. So coming on the quarterfinals, I think it is a big boost for Arsenal Football Club, and maybe could push the club that is the next height. If at all they eject Real Madrid, they could be banging up that is the semi-final. But remember, these two teams will be playing that is in the UEFA Champions League, that is today, that is at 10 p.m. So to the fans of football, I think this is the biggest game that you wouldn't miss out. However, some sad news that is in the Arsenal camp. Earlier on, that is Gabriel Magalhaes, that is who has been one of the big guys that is in the Arsenal defense, will be ruled out because of an injury for the rest of the season. So other players, the likes of Ben White, Jacobo Kwiwi, the likes of Julian Timber, I think will be standing in, the likes of William Saliba, the likes of Zinchenko as a replacement. But remember very well, the level that this Brazilian has been playing on has been so magnificent, has been so astonishing. So it's a big dip is the big blow that is the Arsenal players, the Arsenal camp, and even that is the Arsenal fans in the entire world. It is the most anticipated game that is to the fans of football, more so in this calendar. But I've also told you that we'll be having another game today, that is Bayern Munich up against Inter Milan. Inter Milan has won this championship around 3 times. They are one of the most successful teams that is in Italian football. Currently, they are also one of the most informed teams, despite of them making a draw that is at the weekend, and Bayern had earlier on won. That was their game at the weekend. So they are putting up such a good competence up against that is their arch rivals, that is Bayer Leverkusen. So to any fan of football, I think this is one of the biggest games that you shouldn't miss out. Key players, the likes of Harry Kane will be very instrumental. The likes of Michael Olise, that is in the Bayern game. The likes of Leroy Sané, the likes of Jamal Musiala, the likes of Joshua Kimmich, who is currently the captain. In the absence of that is the goalkeepers, they are also present. So this is a big encounter that you shouldn't miss out. On the side of Inter Milan, they still have some superstars, the likes of Hakan Kanaglu, that is the Turkish superstar, is one of the talking points. The likes of big man himself, who is the current, that is the top scorer, that is Martinez, is one of the big guys there. They will be seeking for, that is for the goals. I think for the Inter game, it is one of the biggest that you shouldn't miss out. But the talking point still lies on the Arsenal game. To fans of football, I think this is the biggest game that you shouldn't miss out. Tomorrow, we'll be having other games. The likes of Barcelona will be playing up against Borussia Dortmund. And Barcelona at their new stadium. Remember, the Camp Nou is still under construction. However, they have been performing better despite of them losing out, drawing, that is 1-1. At the weekend when they were playing, that is Real Betis. On the legs of Borussia Dortmund, they had started poorly. However, on the due course of the season, they are trying to pick up with the form. Previous at the weekend, they managed to win their game. That was around 4-1, where we saw big players, the likes of Sekou Guirassy, that is the Guinea superstar, is also trying to perform better. The likes of Marco Reus are playing some top football. The likes of Emre Can are also playing some good football. So to any fan of football, I think these are some of the biggest fixtures that you shouldn't miss out. On Barcelona, Robert Lewandowski, currently the top scorer in the Bundesliga with 25 goals. Is on form despite of him missing out, that is on the previous weekend, not scoring, that is at the weekend. The likes of Lamine Yamal are also playing some good football. Rafinha, ever since that is the international break when they were beaten by Argentina 4-1, is not at the peak of the game that he was on, but remember, he's currently the top scorer in the UEFA Champions League with around that is 12 goals. So we'd like to add on up against Barcelona, up against Borussia Dortmund, if at all the team is to perform better. Robert Lewandowski is also one of the top guys playing football, that is despite of his age at 36 years. Maybe we would like to join, that is the elite group of Lionel Messi, the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo, of having the most goals. Remember, at the due course of this season, also marked that is 100 goals, that is in the UEFA Champions League, meaning that has closed up the gap with the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo and the likes of Lionel Messi, and still has a chance, if at all can maintain, that is European football, or can still maintain playing in the top 5 leagues of European football and even participating, that is in UEFA Champions League. Barcelona has the catalogue of players who are on form, the likes of Frank de Jong in the midfield, the likes of Firmino Lopez, the likes of Ferran Torres are also playing some good football. The Ansu Fatis are no longer playing because of the competition. The last game will be Aston Villa up against PSG. That will be also tomorrow. PSG, after ejecting Liverpool on penalties, we saw a resumption that is to form. We think that is Luis Enrique made the right choice by letting that is Kylian Mbappe depart off, that is to Real Madrid. The team is performing better, and the likes of Ousmane Dembele are playing some good football. Currently has over 6 goals in the UEFA Champions League, and even domestically is the top scorer after being changed from the wing and is currently playing as the striker, that is for PSG. We see they are playing some good football. The likes of Vitinha in the midfield, the likes of Fabian Ruiz are playing some good football. In the goal, that is Donnarumma is also playing some good football. The likes of Hakimi are playing some good football. So we hope this PSG is also performing to the best. But my fans, I think I will give them that is a win to those that keep on watching and entrusting me with trending sports updates. On the legs of Aston Villa, they have 2 big signings. That is, nevertheless, they are on loan. That is Marcus Rashford is back to his best, at the likes of Marco Asensio, also a PSG player but on loan at Aston Villa, but with UEFA rules he will be eligible to play up against his paymasters, that is PSG, maybe to showcase them as to why they let him go. So it will be such a good encounter. The likes of Oli Watkins are playing better. Aston Villa are also on form, having won almost their previous 5 games, that is in all competitions. That is Unai Emery is doing a great job, that is at Villa Park, making sure the team in the UEFA Cup, they are on the semi-finals, in the Champions League they are on the quarter-finals. But to my fans, I think this could be a win, that is for PSG. Comparing player per player, I think PSG is in a better state to eject that is Aston Villa. I will be coming back, that is after the UEFA Champions League, to give you on what transpired after the first legs of the UEFA Champions League. As always, I'm